Hey guys, it's Hamish Coulter here, GPC New Zealand Powerlifter. I've been competing raw for the past few seasons and I've decided to give equipped a bit of a whirl. So I've had a session in each piece of equipment and I thought I'd go through my initial thoughts on how my introduction to equipped powerlifting has gone. For the past couple of weeks I've been using a pair of squat briefs so I can get used to the feeling of equipment, and I've really enjoyed them. I found they give a lot of bounce out of the hole. I've worked up to 350 for a single and then dropped back to 300 for 5. I think that's probably, that's roughly about where I'm at raw, and I felt like there was heaps left in the tank. I wouldn't have hesitated to take 370, 375 for a go, but I thought I'd wait till I get my proper squat suit. So that's arrived, and I took that for a session last week, and I found that I couldn't get my legs all the way into the leg holes. I needed to widen them up a little bit. But it felt nice and tight. I found the straps were quite high on the shoulders. They kind of popped up like that, and as I descended they got tighter and tighter. I wasn't really expecting it, but it kind of pulled me forward as I was going down. I wasn't able to lever properly and hit depth, so that's something I'm going to have to work on. I've been advised to squat with the straps off for the first 4 or 5 sessions, just while I get used to them. So they're essentially just like a pair of briefs, and they'll get the groove, and they should be easier to work with. So I've enjoyed these. I think I can probably get some pretty good big weights out of them. For deadlifts, I got a Metal King Pro single ply deadlift suit. That was an absolute mission to get into. I've used it twice now, and I don't seem to be able to get my legs in properly without great difficulty, so I'm going to have to widen them up, and the hips are just absolutely swimming on me, so they're not giving me any tightness around there, but I can already feel like there's a lot of tension. So when I'm going down to the ground just to get the bar, it's taking me about 30 seconds just to get down to the bar, but when I'm down there, the amount of pop I get off the ground is just insane, to the point that it feels like I'm not actually doing any of the lift. And when I get up to about the knee, I'm feeling like shit, all of a sudden it's all me, and I'm not really ready for it. So it's almost like a 2-part lift. So I really need to get used to that. I think once I get a bit more tightness on the hips, I'll be able to get the most out of the deadlift shirt. But I think I'm going to make huge improvements in my deadlift. Some people are really strong off the floor, and the deadlift suit doesn't give them much, but that's not me. I'm quite weak off the floor, and locking out is not really an issue, so I think I should be able to get quite a bit out of it. I worked up to 310, which I didn't quite lock out, and I did 290 for a couple of reps as well. The bench press shirt that I got was a Titan Super Katana single ply. It's pretty much the top rated single ply bench shirt on the market at the moment. It's actually really tight around the chest and the shoulders, but the arms wouldn't go in at all. We tried using these slips, and the bench shirt was supposed to go over the top, and then you pull these out. Unfortunately, we didn't really hold the shoulders well, and when we pulled them out, it pulled the shirt down, so that kind of made that a little bit pointless. But we managed to sort of wriggle the arms in as far as they would go. There was still quite a bit to go. I feel like we could probably get it over the shoulder a bit more, and consequently it meant that the shirt collar wasn't actually sitting right, and every time I brought the bench down, it would kind of choke me around the neck. So as you can see in my video, I didn't quite manage to get it all the way down. I felt like I was going to pass out there, but I think with the first session, you can't expect to get it all the way down. It needs to be grooved anyway. So we worked down to about 2 board level with 260, and we nearly got a touch of 250, and that was after a few attempts at 260, so I was pretty fatigued by then. One thing I've really noticed is the fatigue that you actually get in the equipment. I found after a heavy bench session, I've been pretty much rooted. I can't handle a whole heap of volume straight after. I pretty much have to move on to the accessory work, and it's lighter stuff. Incline with 120 instead of 150, 160, which I normally do raw. My first time in equipment, I totaled close to 900, which is slightly over where I go raw on my best lifts. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole heap unleashed as I learn the equipment and I break it in. I think anyone who's spent a decent amount of time doing raw should probably give it a crack. It's quite good fun. The additional leverages you can hold is pretty intense. The other thing is the bite marks you get from them. So I've got marks all over there, all on my legs. Yeah, it's a pretty brutal sport for a non-contact sport. It looks like I've been playing rugby with all the cuts and bruises all over me. I met up with my nutritionist at the start of the week at 122 kilos. We've decided to bulk out to close to 130 so we can bring it in to just under 125, maximise the weight class I'm in. Already I'm up to about 124. But no, I'm really enjoying it, and I'll just continue with it and see where it goes, and I'll keep you guys updated.